I would like to talk about the way that rugby is being officiated at the top level and how it is taking away from the enjoyment of fans, whether that's those watching on the television or those watching in the stadium. And I was both over the weekend just gone. So a little bit of a different video. I'm using some clips from the weekend's rugby. That's why I'm not in my normal setup. I'm going to take you through what I think are two main areas that rugby is getting wrong in terms of officiating. First one of those is the relationship with danger and risk, particularly around the area of head contact, which is a very sensitive subject. And I hope you know me well enough by now if you follow the channel. I'm not the sort of content creator who will do things for clicks or rage bait or any of that. So I've really sat and thought about this one, but I do think the relationship between risk and danger in rugby around head contact the hysteria has got to a level now which is too far, and it needs to take a couple of steps back. The second point that I think rugby's getting wrong is the influence of the T.M.O on rugby matches. I think it is negatively impacting the spectacle for fans. And after all, that is what World Rugby are always telling us is their motivation. Everything that they do, all the law changes they make, all the emphasis they put on different parts of the game is with the fans at the centre. I think if that is the motivation, they're getting it wrong. If you disagree, of course, I know you'll tell me in the comments, and please, whatever your take on this, get stuck in down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Tim, and this is Egg Chasers. And look, I want to get this channel out there. I want to get this opinion out there just to start a conversation with as many people as possible. It is just me. I am one bloke who loves rugby. I don't have a big corporate machine behind me. I don't have marketing budgets. So I need your help with a thumbs up just to spread the word. Share this with a friend you think might appreciate it. And I'd love it if I would earn your subscription. Okay, right. Let me get into this then. Let me make my argument of what is going wrong using some of the moments from the weekend, and a brilliant weekend of rugby it was as well. I want to start on Friday night in the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland against Argentina, and the first couple of minutes.
In green, sweeping back to the short side again, Doris.
Okay, let's talk about the Matthias Moroni disallowed try, and then the yellow card that he gets for the infringement which happened at the other end of the pitch a little earlier in the sequence. So here we go. Ireland, 1 minute 24 on the clock, are in Argentina's 22. The ball spills loose. Jack Crowley's picking it up. Matthias Moroni's going in for contact. Is there head-on-head contact? Yes, there is. That's why Moroni gets the yellow card. He was told by the referee, you could have gone lower. This is after it was brought to his attention by the television match official. So the referee and the assistant referee saw it in real time, and let's have a look at the position they were in when they saw it. They had a full and perfect view of the incident, saw it in real time, decided it was okay, play on. T.M.O thought differently. Referee on second view says, actually, you could have gone lower. Could Moroni have gone lower? Well, I mean, physically, yes, he could have gone lower, but I'll ask a different question. Did he go low enough? We're always talking about the whole purpose of these laws and changes is to change behaviour. That's what we're told. Was he low enough? Has his behaviour changed? I would argue, yes. Have a look at Jack Crowley. He's bent at the waist. His head is the same height as Caelan Doris's waist. Matthias Moroni, bent at the waist, almost horizontal. What more do you want players to do? Sometimes it's okay for there to be an accident. Rugby is inherently dangerous and accidents will happen. As far as possible, you try and help avoid them, but I don't know if this decision is helping to avoid a single accident. If you were Felipe Contepomi after this match and Moroni comes up to you and says, what do I do differently, coach? What's Felipe Contepomi telling him? I don't know, mate. Just do the same again. Because the same incident happens tens of times in a match, and whether you get a clear tackle that's fine, play on, or a red card, sometimes is due to factors completely out of a player's control. And I think this was one of those occasions. But even if you agree that it should have been a yellow card, and by all means, let me know in the comments, do you agree with how this is being done? Have a look at the clock. 1 minute 26. Ireland are inside their own 22. And now count with me. One phase. Two phases. Feel like I'm in an episode of Sesame Street at the minute. Argentina kick away possession. Ireland get the ball back. And then Ireland have a phase. That's a third phase since the incident. And then there's a fourth phase. So we've had 4 phases, possession for each team because Argentina have given it back to Ireland. And then Ireland mess up their attack, Argentina break through, footwork, a little bit of luck, and a try. And if you have a look at the clock when the T.M.O finally gets the referee's attention and the referee stops the clock, 2 minutes 32, a full 1 minute, 6 seconds after the incident itself. 85 metres further forward on the pitch, 4 phases, and a turnover in possession later as well. Is that how, even if you think it was something that was yellow card worthy, is that how you want this to be dealt with? Because again, I'm really not sure about that. And again, rugby is a dangerous sport. And actually the danger and the risk is part of the reason why lots of people play the sport. And it's a big part of the reason why people watch it. And I think we've got ourselves into a purity spiral where anytime there is head contact, there has to be someone to blame and there has to be a sanction, and accidents are not allowed. Accidents are allowed. The behaviour has changed. The care of the players has never been better. Can we please take a couple of steps back? And especially in circumstances like this, can we not wait a full minute and loads of phases and a brilliant try before then coming back and undoing the whole thing? There's one thought. I'd love to know what you think about that. And let me move on to South Africa and their win against England. And there were 2 disallowed tries in this game. I want to look at both of them. And full disclosure, I would have allowed both tries. That first one for South Africa, early in the second half, they had penalty advantage from the line out, rolled the dice, got the ball to the outside. Apalele Fassi created a 2-on-1. Arendse, wheels, try, awesome score. And in my opinion, should have stood. Ben Whitehouse, the T.M.O, however, was the one that caused it to be disallowed, saying it was a forward pass to Arendse. Now, was the pass forward? Probably. On balance, I probably think it was. I think it probably came out of the hands forward. However, have a look at this. Where are assistant referee Chris Busby and referee Andrew Brace for that final pass? They are both perfectly in line. Now, Chris Busby could not have a better view of this. And Chris Busby and Andrew Brace are the referee and assistant referee. They are more qualified and better than T.M.O Ben Whitehouse. That is why Ben Whitehouse is in the T.M.O bunker and Chris Busby and Andrew Brace are on the pitch. And T.M.O Ben Whitehouse overrules the 2 guys who made the call on the field for a decision which I would say probably was forward, but not conclusively so. And it's supposed to be you overrule a decision on the field if it's conclusive evidence. I would say it's not conclusive, but in any case, on the field, referee and T.M.O had a perfect view. What I have a big issue with is this. Listen to, it's specifically what Ben Whitehouse does when he gets on the talk back to the referee.
I'm going to show you a forward pass by South Africa 15, and he passes it to the try scorer. Okay. It comes out to the hands forward.
I know it was a bit muffled, so in case you missed it, Ben Whitehouse said, Andrew, I'm going to show you a forward pass. It came out of the hands forward. Ben Whitehouse, no, that is not your job. As I've said, Andrew Brace is the most qualified man on that at Twickenham that day. Chris Busby is his assistant. They both called it flat, legal at the time, in real time. Ben Whitehouse is the T.M.O. I really dislike that he didn't say, Andrew, there may have been a forward pass. I want to show this to you. He said, there has been a forward pass. In other words, you got it wrong. And he gave Andrew Brace nowhere to go. Andrew Brace called it legal at the time, but the fact Ben Whitehouse said, I'm showing you a forward pass, it came out of the hands forward. Had Andrew Brace not disallowed the try, he would have got so much stick because of the way Ben Whitehouse communicated it. And that is a T.M.O going way beyond where they should. For me, I would actually love it if it was the referee who brought the TMO into the fold. Sometimes there are things which TMOs see which are really clear and obvious that a referee hasn't spotted. But in that situation, if Andrew Brace went, I think that was flat, but I just want to check it. Ben, can you get me that last pass, please? And then if Andrew Brace says, Ben, just tell me what you think, then come forward with your opinion. Otherwise, it's not Ben Whitehouse's place to offer his opinion. And I just dislike that he gave Andrew Brace nowhere else to go. And as a result, a try which I think should have stood was disallowed. And, well, there was another disallowed try in this game. It happened a few minutes later, and it was for England this time. And it was for Maro Itoje for a croc roll on Malcolm Marks. Okay, so how to break this one down. Do I think there was an infringement? I can see that that may have been a croc roll. I can see that there's a possible infringement there. Yes, I do. Do I? So what am I saying I think the try should have been given? Well, I think there seems to be a trend at the moment for TMOs and official teams of officials disallowing tries on a technicality. And I think we saw a really good example of it in that Ireland-Argentina game, as I've already covered, and I think this is another example of it. Was it an infringement? I can see why it was given. I think it was marginal, and as a result, I would have let it go. I don't think it's something that the TMO needs to interject himself into the game to try and sort out. More than that, just like with the Ireland-Argentina game, how long is too long and how many phases is too many phases before you bring it back for that offence? Because England went through 5 full phases of play and got themselves another penalty advantage before they then went on and scored the try for Henry Slade. And I don't know what the right answer is. I just know that I really don't like the way it's currently being done. It's so dissatisfying. And, well, I mean, just have a look at this. I actually managed to capture this moment on my phone when I was in the stand just behind where the try was scored at Twickenham. And, yeah, well, me, along with the rest of the crowd, went mad at this point.
You got pen advantage, have a go! Free ball!
What are you doing? You're 2v1.
Give it to him, get it out! There you go! Yes! Come on! Yes!
All that joy turned to desperation just moments later when it was disallowed. But this is it. I just worry about the footballification of rugby. And with the video referees in football, it's now getting to the point where fans aren't fully celebrating goals because they're like, oh, we need to wait. Just check the video ref's okay with this. I just wonder if rugby's going that way to a degree that I don't like. The other thing I'd say is the one thing that links that last clip with the first clip I played you is that I think the reaction of the players is the reason why the TMO checked it at all. Have a look. Jack Crowley holding his face. Now, maybe legitimately so because there was head contact after all. But I think Jack Crowley holding his face is the reason why the TMO checks it. Same goes with Malcolm Marks. He may have been neck rolled and may have felt aggrieved, but the fact he puts up his arm, starts appealing to the referee, alerts it to the referee, therefore alerts it to the TMO, which is why he checks it. My point being, not that Malcolm Marks or Jack Crowley necessarily did anything wrong, but the incentive looks like it's there to start appealing like footballers do. Because if I was an international coach or player watching those games at the weekend, the takeaway for me is there's an incentive to appeal. Because that's how, if the ref doesn't spot it, the TMO might. And I don't like that. So all of those things combined meant that I think we can do better. And I think the TMOs can step back a little bit. And I think our relationship with risk and danger in rugby can just cool off just a little bit. Some thoughts of mine, and again, some of them, if I'm honest, I feel a little bit self-conscious in coming forward with because, well, it's not very politically correct, is it, to say that Matthias Moroni did nothing wrong? Because we've got ourselves into this purity spiral. But hey, I figure I'm just going to say what I think. And hopefully you know me enough to know that I'm putting the sport first and the fans first. I'm a channel that's there with you in the stands, there with you in the pubs. not always in the media rooms. So I'm definitely coming at this from a fan's perspective, and I would love to know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.